Hello, my name is Jay Maimon. I am working with my colleagues Chase Perry, Walker Moore, and Joshua Hardaway in bringing you this presentation on sustainability in construction. My friend Chase will be going over the social sustainability, Walker will be covering environmental sustainability, and I will be focusing on economic sustainability in construction. So, in essence, sustainability has three pillars: social, environmental, and economical. And all these pillars have to work together. They have to work in tandem. They have to link to each other and work together to produce a sustainable building. Now, they are so core to the structure as even if you take one of them out, the whole structure of sustainability is going to collapse. Now, how is construction different? How is sustainability, particularly in construction, different? Longevity. So construction. So so buildings are made to last long. Frankly, they are made to last around 20 years, 25 years, 50 years, even 100 years. So longevity is important, and sustainable construction helps us achieve that. If we use sustainable methods upfront, the longevity of the building, mm, the cash required to maintain it becomes easier. Complexity. Now, buildings are really complex structures. They have a ton of stuff required to build one, such as the labor, the resources, the financial capital required, the land, and all the stuff for that. So they're very complex structures, and with sustainable construction, this complexity makes more sense. It becomes more easy, essentially. Scale. Now, buildings, frankly, are one of the largest man-made structures beside cargo ships and airplanes. So scaling is really important, and sustainable approach to scaling can help us scale buildings to new heights. Um, Such as look at the Burj Khalifa. It's a really tall skyscraper, and it's standing. It's okay. So for our models, in our presentation, me and my colleagues will be using these two models. On the left, you have the Nakagan Capsule Tower, and on the right, you have Habitat 67. Nakagan is located in Tokyo, Japan, and Habitat is located in Montreal, Canada. Both of these structures are prefabs, and during our presentation, we will be talking about those to make our case. Now in our research findings, as I said, two of my colleagues will be covering the environmental and social aspects of sustainability, and I will be focusing on the economic sustainability in construction. Now, looking at this glorious line graph, you might be thinking that might be the current stock market trend, but it's not. I made it myself. So, what is economic sustainability? Well, it essentially includes the efficient use of resources by using real cost and accounting methods and and real cost pricing to price materials and resources to efficiently use them. Efficiently use resources, labor, all kinds of resources, even the land. Now, so economic sustainability is somewhat of an unusual activity as it focuses or takes into account more of a cyclical business approach than the traditional step-by-step linear approach. Now, what do I mean by cyclical approach? Well, the cyclical approach includes value for money. Well, value for money is a technical term used in the UK sphere of construction and finance. It essentially full efficient use of the financial capital by considering all the costs, all the risks, and all the maintenance fees required to sustain a building all upfront, rather than end up spending more money in the long term by maintaining the building, paying rent, the repair fees, and stuff like that. It takes into account the approach and use of financial capital by considering all the risks, all the costs required during a building's lifetime. Secondly, it also includes achieving the maximum input with the most minimal input. Now, it, it's quite obvious what I mean, but it, it essentially requires not only to achieve the maximum available input, the best quality output with the least minimal input, but also includes the planning, designing, and the construction aspects of every building. As even though you might have to spend more money upfront, but it will always end up achieving or giving us the maximum available output. So a really good example of this came during the construction of the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. As during the construction of a building, the designer proposed an upgrade to regular an upgrade from the regular windows to triple glazed double loy windows. Now that bulk at an additional cost of $15,000. Now obviously everyone was very skeptical about this, about why stuff like that. But at the end, the designer won his argument as he showed that spending $15,000 up front um, on the windows, the building could reduce the perimeter heating zones. They could downsize the heating pumps, and since we're reducing the heating zone, the building could save more land. So essentially, by spending $15,000 upfront, the building ended up saving more than $40,000 in the long term, which is pretty good of a return if you ask me. Now, long term to short term. So as I explained in my Pennsylvania example, economic sustainability rarely produces short term benefits. It's more of a long term approach, more of a long term, just like the stock market, basically. So in the short term, you might end up spending a lot more than you anticipated, but in the long term, it's always going to give you back more than you asked for. Now, there are different kinds of capital requirements in a construction of a building, such as environmental capital, social capital. So both of my colleagues will be covering that, and financial capital, such as the cost of the land, the cost of the resources, the labor, the repair costs, maintenance costs. All of these costs have to be taken into account, and in economic sustainability, they are taken into account up front, which ends up saving a lot of money. Now for the carbon and habitat. So, since my colleagues showed you a lot of benefits of the Habitat 67 over the Nakagan, and since I'm a rebel, I will go against them. So Nakagan ended up being an economic success, as it was constructed in less than 30 days, and as everyone says, time is money, so they ended up saving a lot of money by that too. While Habitat had some financial issues, and the current size of it is 1/6 of what was proposed. And also, it was also made to be the mode of affordable living, but it ended up costing. But now, recently, um, so one of the blocks in Habitat 67 came into the market and was priced at around 600K for 600 square feet only. So that's around 1000 per square feet, which is insanely expensive and not affordable at all. Now, why does sustainability even matter? Like, why am I even talking about it? So, emissions. So buildings account for more than 40% of total emissions, and 10 to 20% of those are during the construction phase only. So our industry, the construction industry is actively global and is active pretty much 24/7. The US alone, as an example, has more than $530 billion of annual revenue, and it employs more than 1.7 million employees in the US alone, not even taking into account the rest of the world. So we have to keep it more sustainable and long lasting as possible. The governments and well, many nations are moving towards a more sustainable approach, such as Germany, who propose to go climate neutral by 2050, the UK, who propose to reduce their emissions by 80% by 2050, and we can also expect more regulations in the near future. The public opinion each and every day, the people are demanding sustainability in pretty much everything, and it's really important to us to make construction as sustainable as possible. Also, the private sector is also responding, such as Amazon, who has pledged to have 80% of all energy used to be renewable by 2024, and that's less than 3 years, so it's wild. Also, so as I mentioned before, economics, um, sustainability equals economic value. As you end up saving a lot more money in the long term, you end up making a lot more people happy, and you end up saving the environment as well. That's a nice approach. And these are our references. So I would like to give a shout out to our very own Dr. Su, who helped us with this presentation and also provided us with one of his research papers on sustainability as well. So be sure to check him out, and also be sure to check out my colleagues' presentation, Chase Perry, Joshua Hardway, and Walker Moore. Thank you very much. Have a great day.